I think a lot of people need to step off his greatness. I know, wins is not really for
Whoa,
Aaron Rodgers.
whoa,
Listen.
whoa!
Listen. Let me
Stop!
finish. Let me finish.
Stop! Stop!
Quarterback wins is not a statistic, but at the same time, the goats still get those
Stop!
W's.
Stop! How many Super Bowls Jim Kelly got?
I don't think he's an all-time great.
He's not.
No,
What about Marino?
Go fall in the hole, Nate. Go fall in the hole. Like you need to go dig a hole outside, and your wife needs to just put you in the hole. Like that's it. You say Jim Kelly's not a great? What about Dan Marino?
Great.
What about Dan Marino?
He's the exception.
But why is he an exception? Never won a Super Bowl. Never won a Super Bowl. Why is he the exception, Nate?
Because
that's bias. Because you have a bias, Nate. Let's be honest. You have a real
bias.
Hold on, whoa. So it's been an all-time great.
Big Ben?
Yeah.
No.
Two-time Super Bowl champ. Why is he all-time great?
He's not even the best still quarterback ever.
That's crazy. You're ridiculous.
Hey guys, it's Terrence Mann. You're listening to Hear the Spear presented by Noles Game Day. Go Noles.
Hey, what's up? This is Peter Ward, aka E-Dub in the house. So we're listening to Hear the Spear presented by Noles Game Day. Go live, go Noles.
Hi, this is Charlie Ward, and you're listening to Hear the Spear. Go Noles.
This is Terrell Buckley. You're listening to Hear the Spear presented by Noles Game Day. No Bloody.
But perhaps better known as the greatest corner to ever step on a football field, Deion Primetime Sanders.
Great Deion Sanders, my brother. What's going on, man? I could wake up to that greeting every day, man. That was awesome.
Hello, Noles fans. This is former Seminole Derek Brooks, and you're listening to Hear the Spear, presented to you by Noles Game Day.
James Wilder Jr. What's going on, James?
Thanks for having me on. FSOD, Florida State or Die, and go Noles.
William Bar None Floyd.
Gentlemen, what's up?
What is happening, guys? This is Logan Robinson from Hear the Spear, presented to you by Noles Game Day. We are here on the last day of the month, January 28th, Thursday night as usual, 8:30 p.m. Thanks, everybody, for coming in and listening and hanging out with us. We got another jam-packed pod tonight. We got a 2021 FSU football schedule release to talk about. That was released earlier this morning. We've got some updates from the tour of duty workouts. We've got a few coaches leaving, or we got another one, a former player coming back home to talk about with Nate Andrews. We're going to talk a little bit about the Senior Bowl. Obviously, we'll talk and chat about the Super Bowl coming up. We got some recruiting in here with Florida State's new legacy commit that happened just a couple hours ago. And FSU basketball, which seems to be a demon for ACC teams right now, just annihilating these teams, embarrassing them on national television. But obviously, we got a lot to talk about. Before I go into anything, let me introduce our co-host this evening. Up at the top with me, Nate Greer, our lead recruiting insider, Dustin Lewis, our lead writer and editor, Austin Veazey, our basketball guy over there, and Karlos Williams at the bottom, 2013 national champion running back. Bills Mafia still loves you a lot. I saw you on IG Live. They're like, when you coming back home?
Tough weekend.
All that
Tough
talk.
weekend.
All that
You
talk.
guys
But
were
hey,
right.
They made an incredible run.
Man, that's an outstanding organization, man. I will say that. That's an outstanding organization. I actually was upset this week listening to the commentators on these shows on ESPN just go off on him about him caring about the morale of his team. In my opinion, that's important. If you have a guy's head right and looking forward going into the next half, don't you build that kind of attitude in college? Like, I think Jimbo built that and instilled that in us. You want to end the half with points or end the quarter with points. I mean, that's kind of always we approach the football game, situational football, in my opinion. But a tough weekend. I mean, hats off to Kansas City. They played a hell of a game.
Were there some people that questioned that hire when he first got hired?
A lot of people did.
But it's going to be Buffalo and Kansas City for
yeah.
The
even
next couple
when he was
years in the
DC,
AFC.
He's a DC in Carolina. Look at the two linebackers that he kind of molded. Like you had Tommy Davis there for a minute, Thomas Davis, but Luke Kuechly came into the league and he was like by snapping, like he can't tackle a machine. And think about the other guys on that defense that kind of molded Carolina when they went and played in that Super Bowl. Even after that, he kind of had guys come in there and change the course of their own careers. I mean, so when he got hired in Buffalo, people's like, well, who is this guy? Is he proven? And he's just a defensive mind. Man, you went and got a quarterback that fits your system. He's making plays. He's great outside the pocket. He's great in the pocket. And then you went and got Stephon Diggs to add. You got veteran receivers. You went and plugged and played in defense in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
In the draft, two
That's what
veteran
they say. They
safeties.
drafted well.
Yeah, two veteran safeties you got for pennies on the dollar. Put it down. I'm being honest. 2 Pro Bowl caliber safeties got pennies on the dollar, and I mean, you just went to the AFC Championship in your 3rd year.
Future is bright in Buffalo. Future is
I
bright.
I have nothing bad to say about the organization. They're going to be competing for AFC Championship for years to come. Years to come. It's going to be a battle for that trophy.
We'll see what happens. Speaking
I
of,
don't like the Steelers doing it. Not without me.
That's right. That is right. That is correct. Hey,
See, I knew you would not go wrong with that. I knew you would. Who's your quarterback?
I still want Vince. I still want Vince coming on here soon. Need Vince Williams on the pod. I know. We're in the works. We're in the works. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you what. You were talking about bright futures too. I think here the Spears got a bright future on the horizon. Chick-fil-A. We got announced our partnership on Tuesday with them. Something we're really excited about. It was tough keeping quiet about that, but we kind of got together and we both thought on both sides for us and them. We could help each other out, and we partnered up. We made that announcement on Tuesday. We've got a lot of things in store, definitely, and it will affect the podcast here. We'll have a few segments here and there. We'll be doing giveaways, trivias. Guests on here are going to get treated very nicely with some Chick-fil-A meals. So something we're really excited about. And for the coming months, we're already looking into doing stuff for March of Madness too. I know Austin will be happy about that and excited. But shout out to those guys over there on West Tennessee Street for partnering with us. And man, it's a great brand to work with. And we're lucky to be able to be hand in hand and work together. We got some really cool projects coming up too. So make sure you go follow them. CFA_TWS on Twitter. But they're going to be all over the podcast, all over Noel Game Day in the next couple months. Hopefully, maybe go for a year, maybe 2. We'll see. Let's jump into some football, though. Florida State football. The 2021 schedule has been officially released. This is always the big time of the year where we all give our early instant reactions. Do we freak out? Do we not freak out? We'll see. Twitter seemed like it was a mix of both, freaking out, but some people were like, oh, that's not too bad. Florida State's going to start out the season, as we know, with Notre Dame on September 5th. After that, they'll be facing Jacksonville State at home. Their first road game will be against Wake Forest on September 18th. Florida State will then go on a 2-game stretch at home in Doak Campbell Stadium facing Louisville after Wake Forest. After Louisville, they'll play against the Syracuse Oranges. North Carolina is going to be away on October 9th. UMass.
You say Oranges, bro? You don't get to skip over that.
Is that disrespectful to the Oranges? UMass, Walt Bell comes back home to Tallahassee.
I can't wait for that one. I can't wait.
That's going to be a great time in Doak Campbell Stadium. But Walt Bell's coming back home. Love to see it. And then the big game of the year, October 30th, the day before Halloween. It could be a scary night. Halloween might be on October 30th this year. We'll see if Clemson's still going to take the reign over the ACC or not. But October 30th, the Clemson Tigers in Death Valley. After that, Florida State's going to go on another 2-game home stretch. NC State on November 6th, Miami on November 13th, and then your last 2 games of the season, Boston College at Boston on November 20th, and then the Florida Gators on November 27th in Gainesville in the Swamp. Early instant reactions to that schedule. Does it feel good? Is it nice? How are we feeling? Scary?
It sucks that we let Florida get the game at home in Gainesville instead of them coming to Tallahassee. That was the first thing I thought. Why'd they get away with the COVID year?
Yeah, I don't know how that goes with the regulations or the scheduling. I'm sure both ADs, I'm sure Florida State was trying, but didn't get to go their way.
I think it's a very manageable schedule in the way it unfolds. You know, kind of like we were chatting before we came on. You know, my feeling, initially as we sit here in late January, a lot of these teams are also kind of rebuilding, kind of aren't going to be the same team that they were last past season. So I think this is a very manageable schedule in terms of bowl eligibility. I think it's a manageable schedule in terms of competing. We all can agree that Clemson's going to be the same result we've had the past couple of years, but I don't think any other game Florida State can't compete in any of the other 11.
And especially early on in this slate that's been released, I mean, you get Notre Dame. Nate, you were talking about before the podcast, they're replacing their quarterback and a bunch of other pieces on both sides of the ball. Then you get Jacksonville State, and then you get Wake Forest, Louisville, and Syracuse, who have all been towards the bottom of the ACC in recent seasons. So it's very manageable out of the gate for Florida State to rack up some wins and build some momentum, because when you look at the second half of that schedule, it's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is it though? Is it going to be tough? UMass, Clemson, yes. NC State, Miami. I can't say what I want to say about Miami, but Boston College.
It's going to be tougher in the first half.
Florida's rebuilding a ton also. So
what do you want to say about Miami?
Say how tough it's going to be.
It is a back-to-back road game, though.
People are saying, does it really affect if King's back by then or not? I don't think. I mean, what date is that again?
November 13th.
November.
I mean,
don't they expect him back by the start of the season?
I don't think he's that productive to be worried about Miami.
Yeah.
I don't think so either. That's what I was thinking, Los.
I don't think he's that productive to be a big enough factor to be worried about that late in the season.
Correct.
I take McKenzie right now over last year King. I could, because King hasn't proven nothing. He ain't no proven winner. He's not won a champion. He hasn't won anything big enough to be like, dang, he solidified himself as like one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Yes or no?
No, he has not.
No. But would you take McKenzie over taking him? Yes, you would. Any day of the week, if you look at the film and let him be a drop back quarterback or run your offense, you're going to take McKenzie every time.
McKenzie Milton's won a national champion. He's a proven national champion.
I'm not worried about Miami. Notre Dame is going to be Notre Dame. I can talk all I want, but Notre Dame's going to come out and play pride for Notre Dame football. That's what they always do. They're known for that. But watching the Senior Bowl today, you got guys out there on the field. You're missing key players. You got to replace O-linemen. And that's big for Notre Dame, replacing offensive linemen. It's a factory, but you still got to replace those All-Americans up front you produce every year. Now, your signal caller for past 3 years is now gone? And that's essential in that offense. Every 2 years you see a quarterback move on, put it that way. Redshirt sophomore, redshirt junior, now he's gone. You get what I'm saying? But this guy's been here for 3 years. The other guy behind him is not getting many reps. Let's be honest. He's not. Notre Dame's putting up points. They're in battles. They're in dog fights week in and week out. They fought with us for a while. North Carolina, Clemson twice. So I'm not overly worried about them, but they're going to play good football. Jacksonville State, if we play like old school Florida State, it won't be a competition. There'll be some guys get some young reps and see if some freshmen can redshirt or not. And I think that's what that game should be used for. Redshirt freshmen, redshirt sophomores, and get some play time and kind of see who weed themselves out in playing time. Put it that way. I'm just be honest. And after that, play football. And how we open up against Notre Dame is going to tell us a lot. Am I worried about Clemson? No. Reason why? Because 5 did not play up to the standard that I thought he was going to play when Lawrence didn't. Period. He didn't play like the 5-star recruit we watched him play. He played like a game manager. They didn't allow him to let go. And that tells me right there, you don't have that much trust in him. And you go in the spring, you just can't throw trust in a player like that. You just can't, I'm going to have to do it now. That trust is instilled when you start recruiting that guy. When you start having that guy on campus from day one. He you make him feel essential. When you're up by 30 points, you give him reps. He's not getting reps. That doesn't make any sense. It's just like I think about, in this case, I think about Bama too. Who's Mac Jones backup? How many reps has this kid gotten all season? Same situation.
He got quite a bit.
I didn't get him to play a lot because every time I seen Bama, those starters finished the game, offense and defense. They closed the game out. And that same thing is starting to happen. It's a culture, but it happens at Clemson too.
Yep. I think Bama's just on a mission this year after last year.
I think
they're purposefully trying to just buzz stop people.
But I'm not. Our schedule isn't anything that I truly am concerned about.
I don't think it's that difficult on paper right now.
No,
I don't think the ACC. Most fans,
North Carolina, which is going to be tough.
Yeah,
Sam
most
Howell
fans.
is seasoned vet. Mac Brown. I mean, it's going to be tough, but we beat them last year, and that's just sheer motivation to let these guys know that it wasn't a fluke. We played our best game.
And I think Florida State's going to have a better pass rush, and we've talked about it before we recorded. Nate, Sam Howell is the juice of that offense. You've got some key skill players leaving there, and Florida State. We had enough talk about it, but piss poor pass rush. Right now, you're bringing in Jermaine Johnson. You're hoping to have these younger cats, even some transfers, come in and make an impact, just getting to the quarterback. These guys are just there to get to the quarterback. That should play in Florida State's favor.
I just simply also expect Florida State to be better. I think they bring in like Karlos said, a much talented quarterback. They brought in some nice pieces on defense in terms of the transfer, and I think they have two guys that are coming in are going to be freshmen, but I think they can be situational pass rushers for you. It's just about the mindset and the culture which we talked about, and if they actually want to go out there and earn it. So that's what I want to see first. I want to see spring. I want to see what the team looks like before I sit here and dive into a schedule. I think it's very, very manageable.
I agree. I 100% agree. You really have to see guys step inside the white lines. I'm not talking about tour of duty workouts. I mean, there's a lot of guys.
Play some damn football, man.
Yeah, a lot of guys made it through workouts that never touched the field. And I mean, they bust they behind in workouts, but they never touched inside the white lines. So I want to see guys get inside the white lines and make plays, even the transfers. I want to see younger guys step up and be like, know what? The guys transferred in. I'm going to start making. I want to see competition. And then that's going to let me evaluate the rest of the schedule. I can look at Notre Dame and say, oh, we're going to compete. I can look at North Carolina and say, we're going to go up North Carolina and smack. Like, it's going to be a win. I can see that coming. You got to just see these guys step on the field. I agree with Nate. It's just hard to tell without seeing them put cleats on the grass.
But on paper, I think Florida State's competitive in all those games. I'll even say Clemson. Clemson returns all 11 defensive starters. That's great.
It's gonna be fun watching Norvell offense. Definitely more enhanced in my opinion this season. Even you lose Terry, but didn't really have him throughout that whole season. After that, I mean, it was a Jordan Travis show and whatever they could find in the running game and moving him around in different packages. But this is a different enhanced offense. You're going to have Mackenzie Milton and Jordan Travis. It ain't just going to be one of each. It's going to be both coming at you. This backfield is definitely upgraded, in my opinion. Toa Philly's going to have a second year. Corbin was finishing off the season strong. Bring in DJ Williams. The wide receiver room is blowing up. I went from thin to okay. They got some problems. Your problem childs. I think that will be fun to watch. That offense versus Clemson and Venables.
I think if they bring in a tackle, I think that Florida State's offense, like I said earlier a couple weeks ago on Twitter, I think Florida State's going to score this year. It's going to come down to how the defense plays. I think that they've done enough on offense in terms of, I really liked what I saw from the offensive line this past year. Even if they're average, that's going to be good enough. And the big difference is what you have at quarterback. And, if he's healthy like he says he is, I think that's a significant improvement. And it's the best quarterback Florida State has since Jameis was there. So that changes the scope of the offense big time.
And if we're just talking about the Clemson matchup in particular, you get 6 games, then you get a bye week, and then UMass. You can do a whole bunch of prep in that bye week, test and tinker a little bit in that UMass game, and then throw everything you got at Clemson. I think that bye week comes at a perfect time, right in the middle of the season. They get to look at the first half, say, here's what we need to fix. Like I said, test against UMass and then go out against Clemson. I think the bye week came at a perfect time where they can give Clemson everything they can give them.
Yeah, and I haven't liked it since my Steelers. It just seems that whenever they have a bye week or Big Ben sits out, the next game they're atrocious. They play terrible. let them stay on the field 2 weeks in a row. You're gonna face UMass, see what works, what's not working, and stay on the trend. Stay on the same schedule that you're gonna have a game this upcoming Saturday. I mean, definitely bye weeks are crucial for some guys getting healthy and whatnot, but staying on the trend of regular practice stuff, your workouts, everything like that, I feel like bodes well in a locker room has a lot of growing to do.
And I think when you look at late in the season, when Florida State has some time to game plan, that have COVID, had a roster, they put up 55 points. So I'm not as upset or scared or nervous about this coaching staff as some people are. I'm just wait and see. I think that Florida State needs a spring with, like Karlos said, with some competition and some guys who just want to play some football.
Yeah, you're right, Nate. We talked about this offseason after the Duke game, but I thought we were all expecting for them to come out after 3 weeks of no football being played to have a lot of hiccups, be rusty, make mistakes, but they came out swinging on
even if it was Duke
with things. Even if it's Duke, I mean, you got to take it for what it is. They came out.
They hadn't done that in 3 years. I mean, they haven't done that in 3 years. So
Dustin.
Manageable schedule.
Yeah. So we have a long off season to dive into, and we will actually get a spring to talk about too, which will be nice. Speaking of spring and kind of getting near all of that, just a note on here, we talked about it in Discord if you haven't been there, but tour of duty has been paused. I don't think we have a current update as of today, but tour of duty has been paused due to COVID-19 tracing protocols. Like I said, if you're in the Discord, you would have known about it, but sucks. I mean, if it's going to happen now, just get it out of the way. But it seems like a lot of it's just contact tracing, but a good amount of guys had been affected. So we'll see if we get an update, maybe head into next week, if they'll get back on schedule under Coach Storms and get into workouts. Senior Bowl. We've been seeing a lot of highlights here and there. Los, you've been tweeting about it. We've all been tweeting about it. But Los has been, he's been hitting us up with a few videos. There's a video, Marvin Wilson having a good few reps. J-Rob having a good.
Here we go.
J-Rob having a good rep. Tell me about J-Rob.
And listen, and whoa, before y'all go, hey, Nate, I would like to apologize.
For?
The optics were amazing. Because how he got invited to the Senior Bowl without playing a senior year, I don't know. So you were right about the optics. Sitting around and being around your teammates were great for the optics. But I will say this, though. In all seriousness, Nasruddin has played extremely well. I watched him playing man coverage today. I watched some clips of him. He is actually playing extremely well. They're wanting him to possibly move down and play backer, which is going to be phenomenal for him. I think he'll fit that rising. Mode. Yeah, his stock is rising being there. It almost watching him is like watching my brother go to the Senior Bowl. Like under the radar, not very talked about, but when he gets to the opportunity, he's going to take full advantage. I think that's exactly what he's doing. Watching Robinson, I watched Robinson in individual today. Got to watch him and some pass rush as well. And his moves are it's stuff that I think he wasn't able to work on while being at Florida State. And after watching him perform against other talent, natural talent, great talent across the country, I think he was underutilized. I feel like he was being told not to do certain things, not to rush a certain way, not to play a certain way, which made him look lackadaisical, effortless at times. But watching him play against top talent across the board, across the country, the best seniors, he's playing phenomenal. And then the Marvin, tearing the trenches apart. They won't stop talking about him. And
he's dominating that Bama.
He is killing
hard.
He's killing him. And it's crazy because as upset I was during season, as proud I am right now watching these guys take advantage of the opportunity. It just sucks when you got to go through it and you're missing these caliber players. And I think that at the Senior Bowl, they're actually putting eyes back at Florida State. Like, whoa, you guys missed games. You guys didn't play a lot, but you guys got invited. You guys are showing out here. I think the talent is still there. I think the caliber of players are still there. there's a diamonds in the rough. I think we have some still at Florida State, and Nasruddin is proven to be one. He's definitely a diamond. He's going to be a steal in the draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if Nas hadn't hurt his knee, he would have left last year. I think that injury kind of forced him to come back. But for me, it's upsetting just to see where was that this year. I think we all are within our right to ask, where was that this year?
That kind of
but
effort.
At the same time, I think we're going to see why people think that Marv is going to maybe slide him back into that first round because he's physically dominating guys.
And
honestly,
he's
had a few reps where they've been, he's been getting worked, but
he's still not healthy. He didn't even practice today. He was still icing the knee.
You're going against the top talent, top seniors, and I wish I got invited to your Senior Bowl because when I went to the combine, I felt like I was one of the best backs at the combine, like measurement stats wise. I was the biggest back, ran one of the fastest times, and I wish I got a chance to go to the Senior Bowl and perform then. So I think with the pandemic and I think with a lot going on and not really having a real season, I will say that, like I said, I will stand corrected because the caliber of player that we saw in years prior, we didn't see this come this season, but we're seeing it when it's time, the money's on the line.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be honest.
It's in the pockets right now.
Hey, the money's on the line. And what you mean? I didn't go to the Senior Bowl, but I went to the combine and I went there and I said I was going to run 4.4. And I went there for one thing. I don't have great lateral movement, but I'm fast. So I ran fast. I can catch and I caught balls. I just played the game. I think Marvin played the game. He's playing it well. He's performing well. I think Robinson's doing it well. Nasruddin's doing it well.
We mentioned Robinson real quick, but that bull rush he had against Leatherwood from Bama, that was an impressive rep.
Yes.
And that's something we didn't see from him. We always saw him as more of a finesse guy, and he just straight bullied Leatherwood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And talk about Janarius Robinson's measurements. We've known since he was in high school that he's a freak physical build. He's freakish. So when you see him in person, it's ridiculous. But NFL scouts are just kind of drooling over it and seeing what they can work with him. And some good coaching, man, does a lot of ways. And there's right now, if you look in the league, Brian Burns absolutely killing it. Had a great season. Josh Sweat too, doing his thing. These guys, these younger guys that are in the NFL that came from Florida State, get some good coaching on them and everything, and they excel. So I'm excited to watch all of them. And I think Hamza Nasruddin right now he's got a long tenure in the league. He stays healthy.
Yeah, he's gonna be around for a long.
He tackles. He just tackles everybody. He's all over the field.
His size and range can put him in so many spaces.
Yeah. He's so versatile.
That's a new kind of nickel. Honestly, if I had a kid that size, that's a new nickel. I'm putting him in the slot and making him play close to the ball and cover tight ends all game.
Mm-hmm.
There's your Gronk issue. There's your Kelsey issue. Make them learn how to choke the tight end and play man-to-man all game.
I'm excited.
If you can do it to a corner, you can do it to a guy to shut down the tight end game in the NFL right now. And the tight end game in the NFL is only getting better and better.
I'm excited to cover this NFL draft.
I think that Nas would have been a second round pick had he not gotten hurt. So
whoever gets him will be a steal.
I'm really rooting for Hamza big time.
Yeah, whoever gets him will be a steal because if he is healthy, he's good to go. Boom, you're looking at a first, second round talent that's going to be in the league for a good long while. Defensive assistant Joe Bowlen is leaving Florida State for position at South Carolina. This is now at least the third coach on staff of Norvell to do so this offseason. This is a trend under Mike Norvell's tenures at any place he's been. If we go back and look, Karlos Logan.
You know how many coaches he lost at Memphis?
How many?
17.
17 coaches.
And he got better every single year. So people need to
pretty good.
People need to relax a little bit.
Yeah, take a little chill pill. I think
it just shows if you come work for Mike Norvell, you're probably going to get a promotion. So.
You're probably going to get paid. Carlos Loughlin earlier, just most recent Carlos Loughlin to Western Kentucky, and then also Brandon Harris is going to FIU.
They both got on-field coaching jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so they went from off-field to on-field, which is a heck of a promotion.
Yeah, most certainly, and to some good gigs too.
You're doing something right.
Yeah, you're doing something right, but it just goes to show, you're gonna and it also attracts people to come work under you. And
How come we never talked about Brandon Harris at Florida State? That kid is just a Miami kid. His family, everything. I just find it weird.
Kind of flew under the radar.
Yeah, I mean, I find it weird. Coach Coley at Miami, he's a Florida State guy, graduated from Florida State. It's just weird. It's weird to me.
And on the other side, someone coming into Tallahassee, we all know this name. I'm very excited about him. Great guy. Was a great player too. Nate Andrews is actually going to be joining Mike Norvell's staff as a graduate assistant. He'll be working with the DBs. Obviously, he was a previous Florida State DB. He actually was at Tennessee for, I believe, 2 years, I want to say, if I'm correct on that. But Nate Andrews is going to be coming home to Tallahassee. And a lot of people are excited. A lot of the fans are excited to have him. He'll be working with the DBs. Los, you obviously were around
Nate
a little bit.
That's nasty Nate, man.
Yeah.
That's nasty Nate. When Nate got on campus, Nate was the oddball in the defensive back room. Quiet, kept to himself. He had number 29 on, and guard and goal, it just didn't look too appealing, put it that way. But he came in with Pruitt, and Pruitt wanted to learn how to play money, learn how to play star. And Nate learned how to play it to the point where you could never take him off the field. I think he led the team in interceptions his freshman year. I mean, he was a pivotal role. I mean, fumble recovery, return, interceptions. I mean, Nate was the kind of the diamond in the rough. Went to the Senior Bowl. I mean, under the radar kind of guy. Why he never got a real chance to play in the league, who knows? But I mean, he learned fast. He played faster. I mean, he wasn't the biggest guy. He wasn't going to outrun everybody, but he was going to give you 110%, and he was going to know his alignment, assignment, and technique. And he was a great teammate. On top of that, a really good friend.
Yeah, no, I think it's great to have a guy that's been around a winning program before in Florida State days when he was here. Goes out, learns a little bit in the SEC, comes back now, is able to be in that DB room and kind of show him, hey, we weren't doing on this mess in the locker room when we were winning. I think that I like it. I think it's a really solid addition for Mike Norvell, Coach Woodson, DB coach. Mike Norvell overall, bring in some of these former guys, definitely, since they have some experience in their work field coming from Tennessee. Come down here and be in that locker room with them and show them what it was like, man. I think it's going to play a big role.
Shout out to the Discord for breaking the news.
Discord's all over it.
Wasn't even us. It was just people in the Discord.
just the users. They die. I mean, they check everything.
I'd be interested to hear some stories from him in the last couple of years at Tennessee.
I bet there's some funny stuff there.
A lot of McDonald's bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you got to do is how much money did y'all actually put in those bags? Recruiting updates. There's a few in here that's Dustin's late in here, but obviously the big one, Aaron Hester, legacy commit, 3-star defensive end. Picks Florida State on his 17th birthday. That was today, earlier at 5 p.m. Hester's father, Ron,
well,
played at FSU.
His birthday was all day. So,
well, it really didn't start
at 5 p.m.
It didn't really start until he committed to Florida State. It didn't really start. He probably would admit to it. It wouldn't start until 5 p.m. when he announced. But his father, Ron, played at Florida State and was a 6th-round NFL draft pick in 1982. But he's going to be coming in. Florida State, it's always good to get legacy commits like this. But it seems like he's got some juice to him, too. Nate, Dustin, what do y'all think about the pickup for Florida State? Obviously, you can't ever go wrong with more pass rushers.
Go ahead, Dustin. You go first.
Yeah, like you said, Logan, you can never go along with more, or never go wrong with more pass rushers.
Jesus.
Aaron Hester joins Nigel Kelly as the second defensive end pickup so far for Florida State in this 2022 class. Hester is likely to be a Fox at the next level. So, he's fitting in a position where Florida State definitely needs some help. And as a legacy commit, it's a great grab for Florida State early in the 2022 class. Hopefully he replies my DM so we can do an interview.
I think that I think it's a really, really, really solid take after what you brought in the portal and then what you have coming in the class. I think definitely he's a fox for this defense. He's 6'3", like 230 right now. I think he's gonna have to get to 255, 260. But if you watch him, he's really, really good with his hands. I think you can tell he's been coached up really well. Guy had 10 and a half sacks in 8 games this year, so he's productive. For Florida State, it's a W for one. Everyone kind of gives him a lot of crap about not letting these legacies. I get it. He's not a big 4 or 5 star kid, but I think he's going to emerge his senior year. But what's important to me is that he's a football player first and foremost. I don't care about the star right now. I care about the fact he's a football player.
Thank God he's not a tennis player playing defensive end.
And he plays violent. Like he's a violent football player and plays with a ton of energy. So, when you're trying to build your team, that's what you need. So it's a great take.
Dustin, you thought it was funny.
I'm laughing at the Discord, but
I'm laughing at the Discord too. The Discord's cracking me up right now.
Never mind. I thought it was funny. But yeah, he's actually the 4th commit so far in the 2022 class, and now puts
number 9 in the country.
Number 9, baby. Number 9, Los.
You get Marischal. It's up to number 6.
Yeah. Speaking of Marischal, 2022 4-star quarterback, like we talked about last week. Nico Marischal just recently visited Florida State, also the Gators before that. But right after his visit to Florida State, he said, there's one more thing. He said there's only one last thing to do. He announced that he's going to be closing his decision with Florida State. He's going to pick him between Florida, Arizona State, and the Rutgers. What's the mascot for the Rutgers? What are those?
Scarlet Knights.
Why would he pick anywhere else? Let's be honest. Florida's crumbling. Their stadium's going to fall to pieces just like their program. Okay, Arizona.
It was on fire once.
Arizona
State.
Even worse.
Hey, except for the chicks, though. The chicks there aren't bad.
Nah, bro. Man, Herm's doing good out there, though. I'm surprised.
He plays to win the game.
Yeah.
And then you got Rutgers. You go freeze up there. You want to? Yeah, go up there and freeze in Jersey.
Yeah. I will say,
these guys.
Tennessee screwed the pooch not taking Shiano as their coach a couple years ago. All that politics.
No, man. Pruitt was the right call.
No.
They just did it the wrong way.
Nah. Shiano's a great college coach, man.
He is, but so is Pruitt. Y'all,
nah.
So is Pruitt.
Pruitt's a great defensive coordinator. I think
Pruitt is a great coach.
We see him now as a head coach of what he is. He's a mess. He's a mess.
Hey, can I be honest with you, though? Tell me the man can't recruit.
Oh, he can recruit. That's great, but he's also
you got to have a coaching staff too, though. Maybe your coaching staff got to coach better. I'm just saying.
Throw it to the Jets, right?
I think overall he didn't do a terrible job at Tennessee. You chose to go to the SEC and be a head coach. That's your fault, number one. I would never do it. I don't want to play Bama and Florida every year in Georgia.
Whoa, you just said Florida's crumbling. LSU. You just said Florida's crumbling.
I wouldn't do it.
I think his ego got a hold of him. His ego got a hold of him. But
that don't mean he's a bad coach.
But no, I'm not saying he's not a bad coach at all. I think he's a great defensive coordinator. Right? Clearly, some guys can't be a head coach. Some guys, maybe that's why Bud Foster never became a head coach, because he knew that he couldn't do the job.
Can I ask you a question, Nate?
Brent Venables, maybe?
Go ahead.
Can't do it.
Go ahead.
Do you think that Rex Ryan was a good head coach in the NFL?
I think that he did a great job that the organization did a great job of building that team.
I asked you a question, Nate. Do you think he was a good head coach?
No, I don't. I do not.
Okay.
He likes feet, though.
Okay.
What?
He likes feet.
Yeah.
This is true.
D-Lou, why do you know that?
Oh, it's a running joke.
I do my research.
Sam Ponder made fun of him for it on one Monday Night Countdown. It was pretty funny.
Wow.
Like feet?
Yeah.
I must have missed that.
That's awkward.
That is awkward.
Let me ask you a question, Karlos. What did you see other than recruiting, which we can now see has probably been all cash related? What makes you think that he's a decent head coach?
Yeah, he's had draft picks in the draft. He had guys get.
Tennessee's always going to have draft picks.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
They're always going to have draft picks.
No, they're not. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Okay, so
it's more D2 and D3 schools getting draft picks than Tennessee right now. Don't do that. But he's had guys go. Don't do that. Tennessee ain't always had guys flying out of there. Don't do that.
Tennessee's always had draft picks. Promise you.
I froze for a second because that's crazy as hell. Tennessee is not. No, I'm not buying.
Silence.
Tennessee's never been relevant to me.
I don't think it's a relevant program.
Not in our time.
I'm just saying that I don't think that Coach Pruitt. I think his ceiling is a defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I think say for Kirby Smart.
I think Kirby Smart is.
Mark Rex should stay on offense.
I think
Manny Diaz should stay on defense.
Ruined his career by not choosing Justin Fields.
Correct.
Yeah, you kind of screwed up there. But
I
anyways,
can't say that. I can't say that because they had a backfield full of first-round running backs.
Yeah, but
let's be honest here. You don't need Justin Fields. You're going to run the ball 40 times a game with 4 running backs. Let's be honest, Nate.
Yeah, but would you rather have a quarterback that can stretch the field or Jake Fromm?
Yeah, you got to be able to throw the ball in the SEC.
If you're going to be you need a game manager to run the football.
You take the best quarterback you can.
Jake Fromm.
Ben manages a game while they run.
Where's Jake Fromm at right now? Where's Jake Fromm at, Los?
Jake Fromm is in Buffalo celebrating the AFC East title.
As a third stringer.
Yeah.
Whoa. He's getting paid, Austin.
He's at the best job in the world.
Justin's
getting
paid
about
as much money the
best
first
job in the world.
Him and Matt Barkley are up in that snow cap, freezing with checks in their pocket. Leave them boys alone.
Second.
Know what I'm saying?
Spending all their money on pocket hand warmers.
Hey,
Chase Daniel ain't loving his job right now.
Pagula signing him.
Hey, what's our prediction for 4-star quarterback Nico Marchiol? What do we got? Florida State?
It's Marchiol. It's Marchiol.
I'm not listening to you on pronunciations, Dustin. There's no chance.
No, he tweeted it. I'm just saying it because he tweeted today. He said the way to pronounce my name is Marchiol.
You still pronounce Odell Haggins. I don't want to hear it.
I switch it up.
You don't?
You were the number one person that screws up people's names, so you don't get to talk. I think it's.
I'm reading it from his Twitter page, but I'm predicting him to commit to Florida State.
You stalk him? Are his notifications on? Do you turn his notifications on?
I got yours on too, bro.
Yeah,
I got yours on. Austin's on. Nate's on.
I feel special, man.
No game day. Everyone else is in no game
his phone
day.
battery. I feel so bad for his phone. That phone battery.
Transfer portal.
After the
visit, game days?
I have him coming to Florida.
I have a whole nother feed of just people's notifications. So I'm watching you.
I think that the writing's on the wall where he goes.
Okay, Florida State.
I still think that Florida State takes 2 in this class, but I think that they've targeted him for a while. And what's interesting, this is, I think everyone knows that CJ over at Unconquered Talk, he's really tight with some people over at Clemson, and there's a lot of heavy debate on who Florida State should be taking at quarterback. And I'm not saying that Clemson is the end-all be-all in terms of their recruit board, but it's just interesting to hear another coaching staff's perspective. They have Nico number 4 on their board, and they don't have MJ Morris at all on the board. So it's just interesting to see those and hear those kinds of things.
Interesting for sure.
So just let it all unfold and see what happens.
Absolutely. Are we doing let me ask you a question segment? Nate, let me ask you a question segment.
They kind of did it.
They kind of just went at it, I feel like.
We can always have a discussion.
I'm sure Karlos has a few saved, I'm sure.
There's probably some.
I got a couple. I have a couple, and I'm trying to find out which one I want to ask.
You hold on to them. You hold on to them. We can go through the NFL part real quick.
Yeah, let's run through the NFL.
Think about a good one and actually get some sparks flying. We gotta get some sparks flying. Last week's was too sweet. I felt like I was in a Chick-fil-A playground, just too sweet.
Wow.
Chick-fil-A, how's that sandwich, bro?
Great transition. We needed that transition. Actually, I was trying to make a transition. Sadly, I had to go to like a child playground to do so. But here I am. The grilled.
What does
Chick-fil-A.
that even mean? What?
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. We're heading in a bad direction. But tried out the grilled spicy deluxe. Talk about yummy. I mean,
You gotta go spicy Cobb with avocado ranch.
Hey, no, this is their new release though. You got to give it a try. Once you're out of training, once you have your cheat day, it's still grilled though. It's still good for
grilled?
you. It's
Yeah,
grilled.
it's grilled. Grilled spicy.
Comes with lettuce. You get your veggies. You get some tomatoes. You also get. I got it in my hand. It's a great like stress ball to cilantro, lime right there.
They didn't give me the sauce.
Oh, I got 4 packets.
They saw you and said you don't need any more sauce.
I wanted the sauce, and they didn't give me any damn sauce sauce.
Dry sandwich.
Yeah, no, this is it was very good. Delicious.
I specifically was like, can y'all put the sauce in the bag for me? And no sauce.
Oh, you don't need any more, like Austin said.
Oh man, that was fun.
You probably didn't need sauce,
dude. It would have helped, dude. That sandwich was spicy. You needed some kind of cooling, bro.
Mellow it over. No, I usually get the regular spicy deluxe, so and I'm trying to get in shape before I smoke Los in a race. So the grilled is coming in, and the grilled is cut. Huh?
Never worry. In your life, will you beat me in a race? Never in your life.
You just wait.
Please stop telling the audience that.
We're gonna set it up. We're setting it up. I'm thinking about setting it up.
It's gonna happen soon, folks. Don't let Logan just keep juicing it. It's gonna happen. We're really gonna do this, and we're gonna shoot it live.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna do it.
Matter of fact, we're gonna race in the West Tennessee Street Chick-fil-A parking lot.
Yeah, spring game. It should be spring game.
Spring game weekend. That
spring
Friday
game
before it.
West
spring
Tennessee
game
Street
tailgate.
Chick-fil-A parking lot.
Now depends on if we're doing it on game day, we got to do it before I eat, but most certainly drink.
Sure. I can beat you drunk. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want, bro. Whatever you want.
You're gonna need some enhancements, so
we're gonna record that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going live. Here, the Spirit presented by Noles Game Day. Hey, we racing.
How many times I got to tell you?
Spring game. West Tennessee Street Chick-fil-A parking lot. You heard it
in the parking lot. We're gonna get hit by a car in West Tennessee.
It's gonna be busy parking lot on game day.
I'm gonna get hit.
Once Noles Game Day touch that property and hear the Spirits out there, we're shutting down the parking lot for this race. I'm telling you right now.
Love that.
You think I won't stop traffic? You're gonna hit me? No.
You've already been hit by a car like 2 months ago.
That was different.
Did she hit you?
That person.
Did you find out it was your wife? Was that your wife that hit you?
My wife was inside. Nice try, funny guy. But no, that person tried to hit me. That person was trying to take me out. The Lord knew what he was doing. I've been on a different path since then.
All right, NFL Conference Championship. Don't worry, we're gonna get the race is gonna happen. I think spring game weekend's perfect timing. NFL Conference Championship recap. Obviously, we talked about it earlier. The Bills tried to hang with the Chiefs, just couldn't happen. Josh Allen really wasn't with it that night. Is what it is. Is what it is.
And he didn't have no receivers. I mean, let's be honest.
It was messed up all around.
The game plan was to shut down Stephon Diggs, and they didn't have a true running game. I mean, TJ Young hasn't played in how many games?
Yeah, and then Freeman wasn't started. They didn't even
and then Singletary, I mean, you're kind of missing Moss, that 1-2 punch. So if you kind of shut down Diggs, you kind of shut down the rest of the receiver core. I mean, you're going to have to make those guys get open and make plays. And not saying they're not great contributors, but they're not Diggs, put it that way.
And it came out after the game that Cole Beasley played with a broken fibula. So,
that
receiving core was banged up.
That takes a lot of heart right there. Like, you go out there with a broken leg and playing, I mean, that's gutsy right there.
Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay was able to hold off the Packers somehow. Aaron Rodgers has his first chance at a home NFC championship, and he's now 0-1 at home. Doesn't seem to be so great in playoffs.
He's very much like Donovan McNabb. 1-5 now.
I think he's 1-4.
1-4, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people need to step off his greatness. I know, wins is not really important. Aaron Rodgers.
Whoa.
Listen.
Whoa.
Listen.
Stop.
Let me finish.
Stop.
Quarterback wins is not a statistic, but at the same time, the GOATs still get those W's.
Stop. How many Super Bowls Jim Kelly got?
I don't think he's an all-time great.
He's not?
No.
What about Marino?
Go fall in the hole, Nate. Go fall in the hole. Like you need to go dig a hole outside, and your wife need to just put you in the hole. Like that's it. You say Jim Kelly's not a great? What about Dan Marino?
Great.
What about Dan Marino?
He's the exception.
But why is he an exception? Never won a Super Bowl. Never won a Super Bowl. Why is he the exception, Nate?
Because
that's bias. Because you have a biase, Nate. Let's be honest. You have a real
bias.
Hold on, whoa. So it's been an all-time great.
Big Ben?
Yeah.
No.
2-time Super Bowl champ. Why is he an all-time great?
He's not even the best Steeler quarterback ever.
That's crazy. You're ridiculous. I really can't believe you said it's a Jim Kelly is not an all-time great.
I think it's an all-time great.
You're ridiculous.
I wouldn't even in the top 15.
Erroneous.
So you said
it's I get it, you're Bills Mafia, but come on, man. Don't be a homer.
So you saying Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
It's not an all-time great.
No. I did not say that. I said we had to step away from him being all this talk about this year about him being an all-time great when he can't win.
He's got all-time great physical traits.
Yes.
I mean the arm accuracy, it's all there.
Like physically and on the field, yes, he's an all-time great. But I think you have to consider W's as part of that.
When Aaron Rodgers
the number one position
he's going to be considered an all-time great.
The number one position in sports, you have to get some W's. That's just my opinion.
He's had no excuse not to have more than one Super Bowl in Green Bay. As much as I hate that franchise and that team and those colors,
I hate Green Bay.
They need to have more than one.
Okay, I'm going to crush that argument in the same sentence because everybody on here, I guarantee, at some point in time, has watched his draft and been like, they've done trash for him. They give him no help. So
they did last year.
So off the muscle. So you get a quarterback drafted this year to your roster. You go out and play your butt off. You're not considered an all-time great in how you performed. You got Devontae Adams went top 3 in the league right now, hands down. I mean, your defense is playing playing well, but the numbers and how you've played all season, your numbers and how you played all season, that
then you choke in the playoffs. You choke when it matters.
Because you lost to Tom. You lost to Tom.
You lost
not even this year.
You lost to
Tom's defense. You lost to 42-year-old Tom Brady.
You lost to Tom's defense. You didn't lose to Tom.
You threw 3 interceptions.
Listen to how you sound. This man has been to how many Super Bowls?
That's great.
It's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady gave him that game on a silver platter.
Come on, LeBron.
He said, "Here you go, Aaron. Here, Aaron. Here's 3 turnovers at home. Chance to get the W, and you can't do it.
That's defense,
you let me
bro.
beat you.
That's defense. That's defense. I can't help that's defense by the Buccaneers. They got a good defensive staff and a good game plan. I can't help that.
Aaron Rodgers on the sideline said, "Get me the ball."
I can't help that.
And they get him the ball, and he doesn't.
I can't help that.
Hey, they got 2 interceptions on both drives. They did not get a first down.
Yes. So Aaron Rodgers asked the defense on TV. You can see his mouth. Get me the ball back, and he doesn't do jack with it.
Well, that happens all the time.
No, it doesn't.
That happens. Who? Hey, bro, y'all get me the ball back. So
if that's Tom Brady, Tom Brady's gonna go get that score. If that's Joe Montana, he's gonna get that score.
Can I ask you a question though?
Patrick Mahomes, he's gonna get that score. John Elway, he's gonna get that score.
What always happens, Nate?
Steve Young, he's gonna get that
ball back. Tom gets the ball back.
It don't matter.
He gets the ball
Aaron
back.
Rodgers choked.
His defense gets him the ball back.
He choked on the foot long.
Every time that Tom needs to put points on the
choked
board,
on the foot
his
long.
team gets the ball back. It doesn't matter. He's an all-time great.
So
you're wild.
Outside mess together. Jim Kelly and his 0-for-4 in the Super Bowl.
Hey, I think Nate's
playing
sugar
big
low.
Chicken eggs.
I think his sugar's low. I think Nate's sugar's low.
Nah, I'm perfectly fine.
His sugar's low. He's over there sweating.
I'm perfectly.
Hey, tell you what, get you some Kool-Aid. Hey, I'm telling you, all-time great. He's not you're sick.
I didn't say that he's not an all-time great. I said we got to back off the talk of him being one of the all-time greats.
You can't. For what? Back it off for what?
He's a choke artist.
Are y'all excited for the Super Bowl?
I feel like getting to a championship game, point blank period, after playing 17 weeks of football is an accomplishment.
It is an accomplishment.
It is. So
It
I don't
is.
care if you go and lose 4 times in a row.
Great job.
But you've gotten there every single year. You've beaten everybody in your
job.
conference
But
every single year.
All-time
You're the
greats.
best. Doesn't
All-time
matter.
greats win championships.
They do. So why has it been an all-time great? So how's Aaron not an all-time great? He's won a championship. He's a champion. Doesn't matter. He's a champion.
He's won one.
He's a champion.
That's great.
Get out of here.
Listen, I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the top 6 or 7 quarterbacks.
Spare me, but Dan Marino's the exception to the rule. And man has never won a Super Bowl. Yes, spare me. But he's an all-time great. He's a Hall of Famer.
Put Dan Marino
won a Super Bowl.
Hey, put Dan Marino on those Cowboys teams.
You can't argue. Never won a Super Bowl.
Dan Marino on those Cowboy teams, man.
Out of here.
They're winning 10 in a row.
Hold on. What'd you say? Put him on. He has to change rosters.
Yeah.
This ain't bad.
You're talking about building a team. You're talking about building teams earlier.
Out of here.
Miami did a horrible job building a team around Dan Marino.
We're heading in a whole
You weren't even alive. I watched them play.
Dig a hole right now.
No, I'm straight. I'm straight.
Right now. Are you damn what?
Tim Kelly sucks. Okay. Ben Roethlisberger garbage.
Hey,
okay?
you smoke.
Time to move on.
Hey, Nate.
Time to move on.
I know you on that gas over there, dog. Yeah. You on that good gas because you
for all y'all wondering who I think the best quarterback is Joe Montana.
You're talking reckless.
Peyton Manning.
Reckless. Peyton Manning's the spare me.
Yeah, time to move on.
Denver had to win him a Super Bowl.
Patrick Mahomes.
Von Miller had to win him a Super Bowl. That defense won him a Super Bowl. He didn't even win that Super Bowl.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my God.
He played terrible. Peyton played like trash in Denver that year. You know that. That defense won that Super Bowl.
You probably think Troy Aikman is an all-time great, don't you?
No, now I've been close. I hate the Cowboys.
Yeah. Why are you being a homer? Why are you being a homer?
Who?
Moving on.
Who? 10th Super Bowl for, I hate this guy. We already know. I'm not going to say his name, but 10th Super Bowl for that guy.
Baby. I'm going to say it for you. Tom.
Tom Brady versus
Super Bowl at home, folks. Tampa has a Super Bowl at home. It's staying in Tampa.
Good for him. He can get home early.
It's staying home, baby.
How much do you think he paid for his Botox?
Probably a lot.
A lot? Quite a bit.
Gillette commercials, baby.
Yeah. But that's going on February 6th. We'll give our our full breakdown of that. We're not a
Haterade report.
We're big NFL people. We watch a lot of NFL, obviously.
Kansas City's going back to back, man.
That's gonna be.
He's not beating TB12, baby. Not in the backyard. Super Bowl stays in Tampa.
This year.
Super Bowl stays in Tampa, baby. Lombardi stays in Tampa.
Mahomes goes for 400 yards. It's a done deal.
Spare me.
Tyreek Hill 250. Book it.
Wow.
I'm excited. Good for Tampa. They finally do everything they need in order to win a championship, and that's what happens. They finally nut up. Took about 10 years of loser blood franchise to actually man up and do something, and they do it, and look where you're at. It's funny how that works. Meanwhile, I can't wait for the Saints versus the Bucks next year, or wherever Jameis goes. But it's probably going to be the Saints versus the Bucks, and Jameis smokes them by probably 550 yards.
D-Lou, you see how they just blow past the fact that Tampa's playing in their backyard. You know what I'm saying? They're right there. Tom can win the game. Tom's going to win the Super Bowl and go party on his yacht.
Right now I'm feeling Tampa for sure.
Yes.
Just because of the way their defense responded in that fourth quarter after Tom Brady's turnovers, and I don't expect Tom Brady to have another second half like that again, especially in the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I think Tampa. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a good game, but I think Tampa's going to edge it out in the end.
I think the GOAT takes it home.
We'll see. We'll give our predictions.
Yes, I do think that Patrick Mahomes takes it home.
He's not the GOAT. Please stop. Hang this.
You are correct. You are correct.
Why do you do this every week?
You are correct.
You say the right stuff, Nate. I swear, you sit at home, you thinking what I'm going to say on Thursday to get Los just to kick it off. And you do it every week. They had that comment. You know what? You watch First Take, didn't you? Watch First Take. He's the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. He's not.
No, I hate First Take.
I knew he was going to say that. I love First Take.
No.
Stephen A's my boy.
That is the worst show. I hate it.
That's the worst show in the history of television.
No, it's not.
I like Stephen A. I've always been a fan of Stephen A.
First Take.
Oh, yeah. I love Stephen A.
Max Kellerman is
we've seen your Twitter.
First Take is as bad as Jim Kelly at quarterback.
Is what? What? You ever seen the 30 for 30 to Four Rivers?
So when they played it earlier in the year, Kansas City was up 17-0 in the first quarter.
None of that. I ain't hearing none of that.
I mean,
I'm not hearing none of that.
Mahomes went for 462 yards.
I'm not hearing none of that.
Tyreek Hill went for 13 catches for 270 yards. It's going to be a repeat.
Nate, did you think Buffalo was going to be playing against Kansas City in that championship game?
I thought Kansas City was going to win.
No. Did you think before season started that Buffalo was going to be in the AFC Championship?
Did you?
Yes, I did. I said it.
Oh, don't get the hell out of here. Get out of
here.
Let's move on.
Logan, you know for a fact before season started, when I was still working at Township, we had talked about it.
That's asinine.
Hey, I was under the influence.
Wow. Hey, listen, D-Lou, you said it. See, hey, you know what though? Y'all two always teaming up against me.
No,
it's okay. And D-Lou stays quiet. And Austin don't talk unless it's basketball. Just beat up on Karlos. It's all good.
I said enough about the Bills last week when I said they're the Utah Jazz of the NFL. And they followed it up. They proved it.
Wow.
They proved it.
Don't say nothing unless it's basketball, Austin.
Wow.
Just talk about basketball. Wow.
Hey, speaking of basketball, let's run through this for our last segment of the night. Florida State right now is on a tear in the ACC, absolutely annihilating people doing it and free entertainment. I mean, these tickets need to cost more with the dunks that are being put down. But, I mean, these posters have been nasty the last couple of weeks. Florida State beats Miami rival 81-59 at home. We don't really need to talk about the Clemson score because I don't have it listed on here, and there's not really even any reason to. You can just say Florida State annihilated Clemson. But Florida State right now is on a roll, Austin.
We recapped that on Saturday.
Yeah, we did. Did an instant recap on Saturday. I mean, Florida State's won their last 5 games by more than 18 points a game, and they're all conference games. And it's not like it's bad teams. It's not like you're playing Boston College, Wake Forest, Notre Dame. You know, it's Clemson, Louisville, Carolina, NC State. Miami sucks, but they had 6 healthy players or 7. It was a mismatch all night. Florida State was sleepwalking half of the game and still won by 22. Their 3-point, they became the first team all season and beat Miami without shooting 36% or better from 3. They shot just 33%. Miami was hitting some insane shots that they should not have hit. The fact they even got to 50 points is insane considering how bad their offense was last night. You had 1 3 that hit off the top of the backboard and rolled in. You had another one, hand in his face. And it was Raekwon Gray's hand, that's a big hand. Nailed it. Step back in the short corner on the right side, nailed it. They should have really only scored about 30, 35 points. The fact they got to 50 was borderline impressive. There wasn't really much to take away from it other than that Florida State's still just freight training teams.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's fun to watch. It's been that way for a couple of years, but right now it just seems like Florida State's on a trend. And I know we said this last week, but they're on a trend, and I think Leonard knows it too. We were talking about earlier in the season. They just got to find who fits where, which schemes is working the best. But it seems like to me, right, Austin and Dustin, that it seems like they've kind of starting to get that figured out. And we haven't even seen Polite either.
Yeah,
I
haven't seen Polite since the Carolina game.
Yep.
And we weren't sure if we were going to see MJ this game because of the head injury he had against Clemson. I kind of had a feeling he was going to play because he was still doing TV interviews. He was still doing a whole bunch of social media stuff. So I had a feeling he was playing. But to see him play last night and score 11 points, look efficient, was good to see.
And I mean, not only did he play, he played the most minutes out of anyone on Florida State's entire roster last night. And, he didn't look like he missed a beat at all ever since that injury. But really the show for me last night was Raekwon Gray and Malik Osborne both coming away with double-doubles. Osborne had 11 points and 10 rebounds. Raekwon Gray had 10 points and 11 rebounds. And, man, it just seemed like the entire game on both ends, they were everywhere on the glass, on defense, and then, I mean, on offense as well. I think we talked about it a little bit on Saturday, but, I mean, Malik Osborne has just continued to grow more and more comfortable switching between that 4 and 5 spot, and seems like he's finally found his spot in this offense, and you can tell that he's really feeling good where his game is at right now.
I think the most impressive guy was the guy that got the second most minutes last night, and that was Sadar Calhoun.
Yeah.
The last few minutes, he's finally getting minutes. I've been saying all season, if we get this guy minutes, he's going to make an impact. Last game against Clemson, he had 17 minutes, had 14 points, I think, 13 points, something like that. Last night, 25 minutes, second most on the team, 11 points, which tied for the most on the team. Florida State had 4 guys in double figures. None of them had more than 11, which is impressive. But he's got that quick twitch in him that you really need from some of these guys. Got a very quick trigger, and his 3-point shots arguably the best on the team that has a lot of really good shooters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the more minutes he gets and the more confident he gets, the more ACC teams are going to be like, oh God, they got another one.
Yeah, and I mean, he looks really confident out there, but funny moment last night whenever he missed that breakaway dunk after the steal, and the whole team just looked so embarrassed.
Well, it's because he had that one insane alley-oop finish. It was a horrible pass from, I forget who it was, MJ maybe? Just a horrible pass that he somehow caught and threw it in.
He's a freak athlete. Looks like a football player.
We didn't see this last year. You know, I watched a ton of his JUCO tape because he would send it to me so I could send out some clips. And you saw him on step backs and some layups that, yeah, he's a good athlete. You didn't see stuff like that where he's finishing alley-oops one-handed that are 6 feet behind the backboard.
It looks like to me, like watching Calhoun, watching Calhoun, I don't know if it does for y'all, but he looks like he's just continuously, he's got those salts somewhere on him. Like he's sniffing salts like in between like timeouts. I think he is. Like we need to make sure he's checked like 5-hour energy shots. He's taking something, Monster Energy, like something's in his drink, but he like it just seems like he's like jittery and he's on some different kind of level.
He moves a million miles an hour.
Is he from here? Are you allowed to do salts on the side? Are you allowed to do that? NCAA?
I have no idea.
Probably, right? Maybe.
No idea.
I think so. I think we need to check him. I'm worried. I'm worried about him, but you know, he's doing a great job. But
some people think he moves too fast, which I don't think is possible in college basketball.
He's on the verge.
The faster you go, to me, I think is better, especially for a team like Florida State that wants to play fast, but they don't always do. I think he's going to be huge in, a couple of weeks when we play Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
His shooting, his athleticism, if he plays another 20, 25 minutes and plays like he has these last couple of games, he's going to give them some issues.
There's reading some of the YouTube chat on here. Shout out to our YouTube people. Mendoza's in here saying Malik and Dar have been putting on the past couple of games. Love to see it. Them and Scotty will be drafted.
Scotty, I mean, we haven't even talked about Scotty for like the last 3 weeks. They moved him to the bench following his ankle injury, which I think it's helped the entire team. You give Raekwon Evans confidence, and he's been playing really well these last few weeks. The starters haven't missed a beat because they got a guy that knows how to spread the ball around because he knows the offense. And then Scotty gets to see the other team's game plan before he gets in the game and can adjust before he gets into the game.
He's scoring 11 points off the bench.
Yeah, so once he comes in the game, he can attack. His vision's still on a completely another level. And he could just pick apart these defenses. Miami was doing some tricky things, just back-to-back possessions. They'd be switching defenses from man to zone to matchup zone, back to a 2-3, back to a man, back to a matchup zone. They're doing a whole bunch of different things, and Scotty was just picking it apart when he got in the game.
The small piece of the game I got to watch. I mean, he was taking it to the board. I mean, attacking the rim. I mean, setting himself up slowly, and then attacking the rim. He had, I think, 6 points in like his first 3 possessions. Like, I mean, he went 3 for 3 the first 3 times he touched the ball. So I mean, he's aggressive.
He's added this little baby skyhook, and I love it because he's 6'9" and he's getting guarded by guys that are 6'2", 6'3". He's got the size. Just put it up there. It was working last night.
You said they played aggressive all week throughout competition. So I mean, it kind of showed taking it to the rack, and as a point, it shows aggression from the whole team.
Yeah, and they're going to need it because it was announced last night after the game that the Pitt game got rescheduled for February 6th, which may or may not have called it if you follow me on Twitter or in the Discord.
So you're saying you're a wizard? I'm
kind of saying I'm a wizard. I've been on the money all week. Between that, I called the Vegas spread for the Miami game, nailed it 11.5. And if Miami scored 4 more points, I would have had the score perfectly. I said 81-63. It was 81-59.
So you're saying that we need to do some lottery with you? Maybe you need to start calling some lottery?
If it's Florida State related, yeah.
I'm getting a lot of clout on Twitter.
I'm saying the Powerball, what was it, like $700 million or whatever it was last week?
Oh, no. If we got that, there'd be a new
That's the kind of money I'm looking for. That's the lottery I want.
There'd be a new Florida State basketball facility if I got that kind of money.
Can you predict those numbers for us?
Yeah, can you get those numbers for us so we can get over there? So you're saying we need to have a betting segment? Like Jeez.
We could.
We might have to.
We really could. Yeah, with these next 4 games, all 4 on the road, at Georgia Tech, at Boston College, at Pitt, at Virginia Tech. They're going to need to keep being aggressive, especially against Georgia Tech that has this weird 1-3-1 defense that molds into a man. They're going to have to keep being aggressive. They played really well against Georgia Tech last time out, beat them by 13, shot the ball well. Miami was one of the worst teams in giving up 3-pointers in the conference. Georgia Tech is the worst. As long as Florida State keeps shooting the ball like they have these last 5 games, I think they'll be fine. But Georgia Tech's playing with some confidence. Even though they've lost 2 in a row, those 2 games were at Duke and at Virginia. Those aren't bad losses. They're still playing really well.
Yeah. I'm interested to see. We were talking about in the production meeting, but for these last 4 games, you're at Georgia Tech, then you're at Boston College, you're at Pittsburgh, and then at the end you're going to Virginia Tech. What do you and Dustin feel about, is that a 3-1 type of situation? Do they go undefeated on that stretch away from home?
you gotta think it's a really tough stretch. 4 straight road games. It's going to be a lot of travel and things like that involved with it. So, I could definitely see Florida State slipping up once. If I had to pick a team that maybe that loss could come against, I would say Georgia Tech could give Florida State some trouble. And then, possibly Virginia Tech as well, but they've kind of leveled off a little bit recently.
He lost their second leading scorer, too.
Yeah, lost Tyrese Radford to suspension. I don't know what it was, but it was fairly sternly worded. I don't have it in front of me, but you're reading this going, man, they're kind of dragging him in the dirt a little bit. Virginia Tech doesn't scare me. I know they're top 25, but when you've got 4 guys that start that are 6'4" and shorter, you're not going to beat Florida State.
To me, it's mainly just being the last of a 4-game road trip.
Yeah, and that is part of it. They don't pass the eye test to me, and maybe I'm crazy. I haven't bought what they've been doing all season. I think Georgia Tech's tough just because they run this such wacky, weird defense. They're going to give you issues. And then Pitt always gives us a game in Pittsburgh. I don't care how bad they are, how good they are. They always give us a game up there. Not having fans is going to play in our favor. The Oakland Zoo is a tough place to play when they have fans. That's a really good student section, a really good atmosphere. But Justin Champagne, he's one of the 3 best guys in this conference. He's leading the league in points and rebounding. That's a good player. But outside of him, if you can limit him, I think you have a very good shot. Xavier Johnson doesn't impress me. They got a couple of guys that have been putting up numbers. They're fine. But it really just comes down to Champagne. And then Boston College, it's not even worth talking about. It's like you're playing Fresno State. It's a bad team.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah. It's like you're playing Chicago State last year. Well, let's leave it at that. Boston College sucks.
Did they really?
I want to look up their schedule now.
Who, Boston Colleges?
Yeah.
You won't be impressed.
Just to see how bad. Are they losing or
Are they that bad?
Bad.
They lost to Florida, but I think no, they gave Florida a game because Florida was dealing with COVID issues. And then I feel like they got
okay.
And lost by 30.
They're not that bad.
They're bad.
They're bad when they're going to face Florida State. They're going to be terrible. And of course, now Saturday's game, Georgia Tech. Get a little bit of time, a little bit of rest before that. A little bit of rest, tiny bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, enough to where
maybe Polite returns. Maybe potentially.
I doubt it. Ham said after the Clemson game, he was going to be out another 1 to 2 weeks. We might see him next week against Boston College.
It's a shoulder injury, right?
Yeah, and
save him for Virginia.
I think save him for Pitt.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I think you're going to need him for Pitt just because Pitt runs a pretty tough defense. You're going to need to shoot over the top of them. I think he's going to come back by then, and when he does, he'll be ready to go. Give you another 8 to 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
They need him though. They need his defense. They need his shooting.
True.
Absolutely, and it's just another guard in that lineup. And Florida State, they use so many different guards. I think having Polite back just kind of helps disperse the minutes a little bit more, and they'll just be able to keep building this full rotation now, and being able to implement Calhoun even more with everyone back, and I just think that's going to help the chemistry grow as we get even closer to March.
The one thing to watch for when Polite does come back is what do they do with Wyatt Wilkes, because he's played pretty well since he's been starting these last couple of games. It's been almost a surprise. He was been very inconsistent start of the season. Now he comes in, starts, had some big shots against Clemson, had some big shots against Louisville, and even last night, he only had 6 points, but was playing defense real well. Was active with his hands, getting steals.
Yeah.
He's impressed me these last few games, and I think that's a valuable player. Do they still leave him at the 3? Do they put him at backup 4 behind Turk? But Malik Osborne's played so well that you want to keep him on the floor. It's a good problem to have, but it's still something they got to figure out once everyone's healthy again.
Score predictions? What are we thinking? Florida State goes on a five game winning streak.
I do think Florida State wins. I think it'll be in the single digits, which is rare to say for this season because they've only had 2 games all year that have been single digits, which is insane. But I do think Florida State wins.
You have some pressure on you now, Austin, because if you're on your wizard streak. So
I want to get one perfect score. I had a couple last year, but I want to just tweet the screenshot of my score and just say Nostradamus. That's all I want to say.
And you can get your clout up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read the articles for a reason. I know what I'm talking about most of the time.
Read the articles for the score, everybody. NoleGameDay.com. Dustin?
Yeah, for the record, if Florida State does win on Saturday, it'll be their 6th straight win. Not 5th. It'll be the 6th straight. But I think like Austin said, it's going to be a close, hard-fought game. Georgia Tech at some point is going to go on a run and give Florida State some issues. So I also think it's going to be a single-digit game. I'm going to say like 69-62.
69,
if we score in the
62.
60s, I'll be disappointed.
Would be a little disappointed.
I don't think Florida State's losing until Virginia.
Well, the crazy thing is Ken Palm has us favored in every single game here on out, including Virginia, including at Carolina.
I think Virginia at Carolina, like we talked about before coming on, are the 2 games for me that I think are the possible losses. I think that Florida State's playing better than everyone else.
The ACC is just so bad. It's a 2-conference race or a 2-team conference at this point. It's Virginia, Florida State, and everybody else.
Love to see it. Let's see here. One last thing. I want to get y'all's thoughts on this real quick. See if this shows. I don't know if it will or not. Y'all seeing that?
Oh, God.
Bro, here you go. He's wild. Here you go. See strikes again, people.
What do y'all think about these?
Dustin, these are all you, my man.
Why is it not showing on the stream? It's not showing on the stream. Hold up.
$250 for those.
Hold up. I got to get in the stream here. What is this? $250 for some Croc Heelys.
I mean, Crocs are a meme in themselves. Heelys are a meme in themselves.
Awesome. Is this what they sell at your shop?
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
Los, can you rock these?
Never.
No?
My wife said she would.
She'd rock them?
She said she'll wear them.
How much would she pay? $250?
I'm not buying them. I can make them some.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Makeshift, baby.
Is it even a real screenshot? Like if I Googled Croc
knows?
Heelys, does that pop up?
I don't know. It looks kind of Photoshopped to me.
It does look Photoshopped.
It looks,
right?
but I'm sure like people make
Even
them.
do your
It looks
research.
like something Dustin would wear.
No,
for sure.
Bro, those things cost $250. My shoe budget about $18.
What I mean, like,
Come
it's
on,
something
man.
Ever seen my
would
shoe?
purchase if you could, is what I'm saying. If
Well, it's not my dream. Let me tell you that. I've got bigger dreams.
Like what?
There's a Lightning McQueen Croc Heely. Hold on.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm not paying $250 for them. I'll pay like maybe $2.50, like put the coin over 2 spots, but I'm not gonna pay $250 for those. I feel like that's something Nate, like his daughters, would tell him to wear.
Hell no. No.
I do.
No.
I think so.
Absolutely not, dude.
Listen, you still got to tell us what your dream is. You told us you had a huge dream. What is it?
Be awesome.
What?
Who's ready?
My dream is kind of to go to bed. I'm getting tired.
Oh my god, because you had one interview today.
And work.
Exhausted. You hear that, Nate? He's tired. Like that. Nate is nonstop.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
You ready, Nate?
Ready for what?
For your question.
Oh, you got a
for me?
question?
Oh, yes.
Listeners.
Let me switch my screen.
Hey, Nate.
Hey, what?
With Lawrence being the first quarterback taken off the board, everybody's saying it, every expert saying it, ownership possibly is even saying it. Who's the next quarterback off the board? And where do they go? And what team takes them?
Hold on, let me pull up the
there you go.
Draft order real quick. Hold on.
I want to see because we watched a lot of good quarterbacks play some college football this year. North Dakota State had a quarterback that played some good football this year.
He played one game.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Still a good player.
Well, thank you, Austin.
Still a
good player.
Hey.
Still a good player.
Hold on, let me.
Better than Jake Fromm.
Well, while he pulls it up, like we still got to.
He's probably better than Jake Fromm. Yeah.
We got to figure out what teams do with.
Nate, I got another question for you that you can answer without looking it up.
Okay, go ahead. I got it right here.
Hold on. Are y'all ready for this question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nate, where's your neck?
My neck's right here.
Okay, because I haven't seen it in a minute. I checked your Facebook and your traps, and your head is kind of big like a pug. I couldn't find your neck in your pictures. You all head and shoulders.
That's how I roll, man. That's how I roll, man. You know, I got to work on that neck strength. You know what I'm saying?
This is the most disrespectful question you've ever asked, Karlos.
No concussions. Hey, should I ask the question I asked you guys a couple weeks ago when he went off the?
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, ask this one.
What's the question?
Who was the comp? Fuck, man, I forget. Who?
What was the question?
Dustin, text me real quick. Who did I compare it to? Who had the worst body transformation?
Who was it?
I forget who
what
the player was.
This is gonna start off.
Okay, you remember? Text me.
I'm trying to remember who.
They played at State.
No, hold on. Oh man,
a body transformation. Someone made it. Someone had a.
Did you text it? I feel like you might have.
No, we talked about it here after.
Yeah, I remember talking about it. I just don't remember how it got there.
And Karlos said something about chicken nugget head or something like that. Something dumb. And I was like, hey, let me ask you a question, guys. And I was like, who had the worst body transformation? Karlos or this person? I forgot who the person was. Oh, James Harden. James Harden.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you right now, Nate.
Who had the worst body transformation?
I'm going to tell you
was
right
it
now.
Karlos or James Harden?
I'm going to tell you right now, Nate. I've never not had an ab on my body. I've never not had abs on my body.
Was it Pittsburgh Karlos or was it Houston fake body suit?
You want to see? Do y'all want to see Pittsburgh Karlos? Because Pittsburgh Karlos was 234 pounds. Pittsburgh Karlos was 234.
Woo.
Y'all don't know the story about that. So when I was in Pittsburgh, I was on practice squad, but Chicolo broke my palm. Yeah, he broke this hand. He broke my palm. He fractured my palm.
Because he played at Miami.
2 weeks after that, I got suspended for missing for missing a piss test because my son was being born, not because I was out of shape. I got suspended for some shit I just had no control over. I'm not leaving my house to take a piss test. I'm not leaving the hospital to take a piss test. I'm not doing that. My son's
the NFL born. Was at Pittsburgh?
No, that's NFL. My son was born in May.
That's stupid.
Yeah, so I can't me and Roger Goodell had a conversation about that. Hey, bro, I gotta suspend you because you violated. But I said, would you leave the hospital if your son was crowning? He said no. So I mean, I'm not doing that. So, but I was getting reps. I was actually gonna be on at the roster, but I fractured my palm, and my brother tried to kill Chicolo. It was a little situation. So I look good in Pittsburgh. I look better than you right now, Nate.
Nah, I doubt that.
I was born looking better. Spare me.
I doubt that.
Spare me.
To answer your question, your original question.
Look at me, Nate.
Do we get the answer?
I look better than you from here, from the neck up. You can see my neck from the neck up, whole neck, all of it.
Look at that.
That's not really a neck. That's like a patch of skin.
That's what a neck is.
Look like a green screen. Look like extra green screen. Don't look like a real neck. When I wear my hoodie, you can see my neck in my hoodie. I can't see your shit.
It's supposed to be like that.
It's supposed to be, sure. Short neck, like a little dog.
Yep.
Talking about body transformation. Nate, I'll fire you up. Talk about body transformation. I've never not looked bad a day in my life. You know that?
I don't know about all that, man.
When have I looked bad, Nate?
I'm not gonna sit here and judge you. I think that was a legitimate question.
But whoa! But y'all
now he's not gonna judge.
Conversation about my body.
No, we did not.
Not a whole conversation, bro. Don't make it like.
Whoa.
Pull us in.
Transformation.
Whoa.
Hold on. To think about somebody's body transformation, Nate. Question, Nate. They leave me out there. Let me ask you that question. Why you questioning my body?
Let's do it.
So, my question was, with Lawrence being the first quarterback taken by Jacksonville, everybody's claiming it. Who's the second quarterback taken off the board and by what team?
Well, I would go Justin Fields. I think you don't overthink it. I think if the Jets trade for Deshaun Watson, that knocks him out. I think Atlanta, I don't think they're ready to get rid of Matt Ryan yet. You look at Cincinnati, they have their quarterback. Philadelphia, I think at number 6 would be the first one that looks at quarterback. And I think that it does come down to Fields, who I like better than the kid from North Dakota State. But I think it comes down to one of those two as the number 2 pick in terms of quarterback.
You think the Eagles? You think the Eagles will pick a quarterback with having hurt back there?
I just think they're a horrible franchise, and they would do some stupid shit like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. With that being said,
I think Detroit would. They're clearly going to be in the quarterback market, getting rid of Stafford. Denver. I mean, I think you look at 1 through 10. I mean, what does Dallas do? You got Prescott coming back off an injury.
He's a free agent, wasn't it? Because he was franchised last year, right?
Yeah,
they're gonna sign him.
They're gonna have to.
You would think, but
I don't think they can tag him again. You can only be tagged a certain number of times.
He's only been tagged once, right? I think he's still got 2 more.
No,
I thought he only been tagged once.
It's not his second tag.
That was his first. I don't know.
He's only been tagged once.
Yeah.
I thought it was I was just going to say that. I mean, they got to pay him regardless of quarterback. I mean,
I think
if you pay him or let him go.
Like New England, who has a ton of draft picks, I'd be interested to see what they do for quarterback. Did they trade up into the top 10 for a quarterback? I think that Las Vegas, are they going to stick with Carr? What do they have for assets? Do they trade up into the top 10?
What about the Rams? They're tired of Goff.
They get too much money on the books with him, though.
They had a lot of money involved in him, though.
I mean, Goff can be the highest paid backup in the league.
Large margin.
I mean, that's what he's going to end up being, because it's going to be a quarterback battle. If that kid beats him out, he's done. Like, he's going to sit there and watch him play weeks of football.
I mean, that's just bad. That's a bad contract, then, in hindsight. But
they screwed themselves.
You just never know. I think Washington, they're in the quarterback market. I think there's a lot of teams that could possibly trade up into that top 10.
I mean,
Falcons need to be.
In my opinion, I do think Deshaun eventually goes to the Jets, and then Houston takes a quarterback at 2. Whether it's Fields.
That's my thing. Who do you think that pick is going to be? If Houston, Deshaun goes to the Jets. Who does Houston pick it to?
It's either Fields or Wilson to me. I think Lance has too many unknowns.
Yeah, I think Trey Lance is definitely someone that's going to be mid first round. I think he's going to go to a team that's probably he can sit for a year or 2, which is what I think he needs. But I think Wilson, you forget about him.
I like him.
He's good.
Yeah,
and he's got the physical tools. Like, he's going to be one of those guys where he goes to the combine and guys. And
he's very Baker Mayfield-ish.
Yeah,
Brett Favre.
Yeah, just
very
gunslinger.
Feisty, gunslinger, feisty. He just plays with that certain rugged attitude.
Teams are going to go to his pro day and be like, "Wow, he's got a arm. Oh wow, he's got a big character."
Yeah. I'm also someone that thinks that this may start another argument, but I think that the gap between Fields and Lawrence isn't as big as people think. I'm a big Justin Fields fan.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I think yes, Lawrence is for sure the number 1 guy. I mean, but I don't think Fields is that far off.
Do you think Fields had the quality of talent on the outside that Lawrence has had since he's been at Clemson?
I don't think anyone has outside of Alabama quarterbacks.
Okay,
and I guess Joe Burrow because he had talent there too.
I had to ask that question because I like to look at rosters. I really like to look at rosters, and I always look at when that's championship. Aries talks about Jameis, but Jameis was. I mean, you had to put the ball in the right spot. Although we had O'Leary, Kenny Shaw, Rashad Green, and KB, we also had running backs that rushed for a lot. But I think the whole offense was different. That offense, it was different. So I'm looking at football now. These offenses are different. You don't have a lot of playmakers everywhere. You got one or two guys on one side of the ball, and those 1-2 guys are getting the ball. So I was looking at Clemson's roster. They've had consistently guys going into the NFL on offense, whether it was running back, a tight end, a receiver, or a quarterback. He had more weapons, I feel like.
Isn't it crazy to think, though, Jameis Winston's top guys that you just named with Kenny Shaw, KB, Rashad Green, Nick O'Leary. I mean, Nick O'Leary still had some time in the NFL, but all these guys, all his targets, not in the NFL.
Yeah, O'Leary's in the NFL.
Yeah, O'Leary is.
Well, yeah, but
isn't Rashad on a practice? Isn't Green on a practice squad somewhere?
I don't think he's anymore.
I don't think he is. Yeah,
he was with
Jack. Yeah,
he was with Jacksonville. He was me and Rashad enrolled in school in the spring at the same time, last spring.
I mean, I think we can all sit here and say Jameis made Kenny Shaw, who I think that was an extremely gifted route runner. But I think he made Kelvin Benjamin a first round pick. Mm-hmm. Not the other way around.
I can't argue with that. I'm gonna argue with that. I'm gonna argue with you right now. I'm gonna argue with you right now because I watched KB come into the meeting room and tell y'all, "Hey boys, Kelvin Benjamin, Belgrade, Florida. I'm here for 2 and I'm gone. I ain't really on that school stuff. I'm out of here." He red-shirted. School stuff happened. Couldn't play. But he came back and was gone. Like he was on a mission. So I watched the body of work he put in. Catching the balls he caught, slimming down. I don't care about, we're talking about college ball right now. He put the work in, his attitude, and everything changed about life when he decided to say, I'm going to go to the NFL. I think Jameis is a great quarterback, and that was a great combination, but I watched that body of work. So I can't say he made Kelvin Benjamin a first-round pick because nobody was jumping, going to get the ball. The play had to be made, point blank, period. You get yourself drafted by making the play.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
You can't.
If Kelvin could have stayed in shape, he would have had a long career.
Yeah.
He was with Kansas City last. Could be in Tampa Bay.
He had a damn good rookie year. His rookie year was great.
Yeah. And then it was really unfortunate timing that he tore his ACL, but that was the year Carolina was so good.
Yep.
They went 15-1 without him, and they're like, well, do we really need him?
That's devastating. That's mentally devastating to an athlete, bro.
Yeah.
To be on a roster that's so good and you're performing well, and then you get hurt. And you have Devin Funchess, who's not a slouch. By far, who plays good football, come in and play well. I mean, you kind of work yourself back. But being 6'6" and 235 at a receiver, period, is not easy to maintain. And you don't want to be a tight end. That's really hard to maintain. I don't care what anybody say. That's a big athlete to play receiver.
I'll boss KB.
Here he goes.
Oh, God.
Here he goes.
I think we should end off on that. This is hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half pod. We've been lengthy on these. This is good stuff, good content. But anybody else got anything else to say?
Yeah, I have to go work on my neck exercises, man.
Yeah, get your neck exercise. No, it just makes it bigger.
You need to elongate your neck. Like, can you breathe, bro? Is your esophagus long? Like, short breath breathing. Like, you probably breathe like a bug for real in your sleep. You probably sleep in a rocking chair because you can't sleep on your back. You're going to choke yourself.
Nah, I'm good, bro.
P-Bo Lottie got more head than he got body.
I'm more of a side sleeper, you know? I sleep on my side.
Are you
tuck the pillow in?
So you choke yourself.
Yeah, I choke myself. Yeah.
You don't sleep comfortably at all. I know you don't. And you don't sleep comfortably at all. I know you don't.
Do what?
You don't sleep comfortable at all.
I sleep great, dude.
Like the pillow can't tuck between your head and your shoulder.
Oh no,
like,
it's perfect, man.
Like
it's perfect.
Like you're straight back. Like it's like your head and you go flat back.
Nah, it's perfect. It's form fitting, dude. It's perfect.
Oh man, we gotta get out of here.
He said it's form fitting.
That pillow is shaped
Oh, that was a good one though. I ain't gonna lie, it's form fitting.
Oh man. Hey, shout out to our partner Chick-fil-A. Go follow them on Twitter, Instagram. They got an Instagram too. Go follow them. Appreciate them. Shout out to the Grilled Spicy Deluxe. Good sandwich. Y'all got to go try it out. Very good. Very good. Definitely with the cilantro lime.
Get the sauce.
Get the sauce.
West Tennessee Street.
Yes. Go try it out. Shout out to them. As always, you listen to this podcast on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. Make sure that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube right now or listening to it later on, hit that subscribe button so then you'll be notified every time we go live and release a new episode. But we'll be back next week. We had a lot to talk about. We'll be recapping National Signing Day. We'll be getting ready for the Super Bowl. We'll be kind of going maybe through a little bit more of the schedule. We'll see, but and more basketball to talk about. Finding Nate's neck. That's what we're gonna do all week. Where is Nate's neck? Hashtag.
Where's Nate's neck?
Hashtag. Where is Nate's neck? Or hashtag Nate's
Not
neck.
Waldo. Nate's neck.
Where's Nate's neck? We'll see you guys next week. Y'all be good. See y'all next Thursday.
Mama told me not to sell word. 17